Yo, how's it going everybody? Chadley here, and in today's video I'm going to be taking you guys through 5 must-have legendary weapons. Now right now we're going to have level 65 for a while now, and also I do not expect any of these weapons to be nerfed at all anytime in the future. So I thought this would be a really good resource for you guys to go out and know what is the best here at the endgame level. Now some of these weapons are obviously going to perform better on certain characters with certain builds than others. I will mention if one of these weapons is better in a certain scenario or not. Also, something to note is that there is no particular order for these 5 weapons. I just want to share 5 legendary weapons that will help you destroy Mayhem 10. Also, there are way more than just 5 legendary weapons that you guys will really want to have here in the endgame. So if you guys do want to see more and you enjoy this video, make sure you guys let me know in the comments down below and we can get another top 5 list here later this week. So let's go ahead and jump into this list so I can let you guys know where to get the weapon and why it is so good. So coming up first is going to be the Lightshow. This is a Vladoff pistol. You're going to get this weapon from Lazadactyl in the Obsidian Forest in DLC 3. You can only get this in DLC 3. So I'm sorry if you guys do not have the DLC, but this weapon is an absolute must-have for endgame stuff. This is honestly one of the best weapons for single target damage in the entire game. There are very few things that are going to outclass this. Also, another huge plus to this weapon is that it can be used on basically any character. Now, I wouldn't really suggest using it on Moze. Moze is always going to get the most benefit out of splash weapons, and the Lightshow does not do splash. So that is something to just keep in mind with Moze. Also, this weapon can roll with any element, so normal damage or any of the elements this thing can come in. So it's super versatile if you guys get the right kind. And having consecutive hits or a URAD version is just absolutely insane with this, and I use it in almost every single build, or can be used in almost every single build. So overall, Lightshow must have. If you guys don't have DLC 3, I highly suggest getting DLC 3 because there's a ton of really good weapons like the Lightshow in that DLC. So a second weapon that we're really going to want to have here in Mayhem 10 is the Reflux. This is a corrosive Hyperion shotgun that drops from Genevieve in the Ferocious Canopy, but you do have to be on Mayhem 6 or above to get this to be able to drop. Overall, you can just absolutely destroy with this weapon on basically everybody except Moze for the same reason as the Lightshow. It does not do splash, and she's definitely going to get way more out of splash weapons than she is on non-splash weapons. But I do find this weapon to be the absolute best on flak. For any sort of flak build, you can make incredibly good use out of this, especially for fadeaway style builds, because it is one of the best mobbing weapons in the entire game, and it's also probably the best fade cycling weapon. So what I mean by fade cycling is we can get in and out of fadeaway super quick, because it is going to proc head count when you have Megavore on. All those chains are going to be critting all the time, and you guys can get fadeaway back in just a couple seconds and almost always have your bonus elements going and always have some aggro draw from your pet. When this weapon is paired with consecutive hits or the URAD anointment, it can destroy any piece of content in the entire game, even true Guardian Takedown. You're not going to have any trouble, and is basically a must for any sort of build like that. Now coming in at our 3 spot here, it is another mobbing beast, and in my opinion is the best mobbing weapon in the entire game. That is the Plaguebearer. This is going to drop from the Warden in the Anvil on Mayhem 6+. This is basically an insane rocket launcher that is going to allow you to destroy the biggest hordes in the entire game super quickly and safely, because you can do it from a distance. So on flak, this is really good for clear speed and survivability. You're barely ever going to get shot because all these enemies are going to be dying a mile away from you before they can even shoot you. You can basically clear all content in the entire game just using this weapon, because this thing can also do very well for bossing when paired with the right elements. Overall, this thing just does so much damage to so many targets. This is an absolute must-have for so many builds, and I highly recommend you guys going and farming this weapon. This also comes in any element except for the normal damage, so it is incredibly versatile in that range as well. Now this SMG is going to drop from Minosaur in Bloodsun Canyon in DLC 3, so that is another reason to go pick up that DLC if you guys do not have it already. It is absolutely insane on Moze and is by far her best weapon. With just one flipper with either consecutive hits or URAD on it depending on what kind of build you're running, you can literally clear all content in the entire game. You can do bossing, you can do mobbing, seriously everything with just that one flipper and a half decent build. You can just wreck everything. Now, there's a lot of people who say they really like to use the flipper on other characters. Now, I don't enjoy it too much on the other characters, except for like a fast fire rate Zane. I do enjoy it on there. But Amara and Flak, I usually stay away as there are better options in my opinion. But this can be used by any character. Now for our last slot, I said there was going to be no order to this, but this one is the one exception. This, in my opinion, is the strongest weapon in the entire game for any character, and that is the Face Puncher. This is going to drop from Moldoc in Floodmoor Basin, and if you guys somehow do not know what this weapon does, it shoots melee damage. Everything that comes out of it counts as melee damage. It can roll ×7 and ×14 pellets, and with how melee is in the game right now with Groundbreaker and melee artifacts, and also it gets bonuses from weapon damage type things, this weapon is absolutely insane on all characters. Given the right builds, most characters can one-shot any enemy in the entire game just by using this weapon paired with the right anointments and such. For example, the Psycho Reaver at the end of DLC 4 has probably the most health out of anything in the entire game. That or the Sponge Boss also in that DLC. With this weapon and the right artifacts and such, you can seriously one-shot both of them consistently with it. It's absolutely ridiculous. Really, all you need to do with the Face Puncher is get the 390 anointment on it or 100 melee, and you're basically good to go. Occasionally, you can use a URAD if you're doing a URAD melee build. And then just throw on a Elemental Stone White Elephant or like a Knife Drain White Elephant, and you're basically good to go, especially when you have Groundbreaker. Because those White Elephant stickies are going to bring up Groundbreaker, and then your next melee shot out of the Face Puncher is going to increase the damage that your next White Elephants are going to do, and it's this crazy cycle that lets you just do so much damage. And then there's also certain strategies you can do with this weapon because it does receive weapon damage bonuses. So say on Flak, you can stack up the Stackbot class mod, and then swap over to the Face Puncher and get the 500% increased weapon damage. But you're not going to reset the stack bot even if you don't crit, because all these melee things do not reset it. And it's just incredibly, incredibly broken. And I will stand by that this is the strongest weapon in the entire game for any character. But yeah, guys, that is going to conclude this list of 5 must-have weapons for endgame content. Like I said at the start, if you guys want 5 more weapons that we can be using here in Mayhem 10, make sure you guys let me know in the comments down below. We can get that out later this week because there are plenty more weapons than these 5. Also, let me know in the comments down below what other weapons you guys really, really like to use for endgame and what makes your life super easy. But hopefully you learned something or have something to go farm now after watching this video. So hopefully you guys have some good luck in that. But if you guys want to see more Borderlands content, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Also come over to Twitch. We stream every single night right around 8 p.m. Eastern time. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next video. See ya.